You know how you are just frozen by what to do and you've tried everything and you just are this close to giving up? 4 weeks on Tirzepatide, here are my results. 28 days, 14 pounds. Hi, this is Ebony. Welcome to Becoming Bianca. I just started this YouTube channel to help me document some things that I want to get done in my life. I want to revamp myself top to bottom, spiritually, physically, emotionally. So the first order of business is physically. Join me on this mission to lose at least 40 pounds. Actually have not given myself a deadline. That's what I've always done in the past, and I'm over it because really I just want this to be lifelong and sustainable. My goal was to start a YouTube channel. This topic I thought was great because I have been so excited and passionate about it. I have been literally binging YouTube videos. I mean, an embarrassing amount of hours, falling asleep listening to people. But this is kind of a new thing in the past few months. In this effort to reinvent myself, I was like, had like a light bulb moment. Like, what have I been doing all these years not utilizing these beautiful free resources on YouTube? If you have a goal and you don't want to get distracted, start looking up on YouTube how to reach that goal, tips for reaching that goal, ways to make it easier on yourself. And soon your algorithm will catch up and you'll be suggested these things, and it's so much easier to reach your goals if your goal is top of mind. So that's just a little sidebar. Anyway, let me get back to my notes because I have a way of getting off track. I had been on Tirzepatide for a little over a month. So I started May 13th. June 13th was 1 month, 2 days ago. Yeah, this is what I will say. 28 days, 14 pounds. 28 days in, I was down 14 pounds. And I told myself, hey, if I get below this one number, I'm going to pull everything out of my closet and happily try on everything and get rid of a bunch of stuff. I have only been using about 10%, if that, of what I have in my closet the past probably at least a year. Because, yeah, at least a year, probably pushing 2 years because I could not fit it anymore. And at that time, I had already went up to a large. So the past year or so, I've had to go up to extra larges. You know how you are just frozen by what to do and you've tried everything and you just are this close to giving up? I can fit stuff in my closet. 4 full weeks past May 13th. Obviously now I am a little over a month and 2 days past the day that I started, and I've lost even more weight since I wrote out my cute little outline for my first video. So what I'm doing: tracking calories, tracking protein, weighing daily, getting a minimum of 8,000 steps, and drinking water. Sounds like a lot, but really think about it. Tracking calories, and of the calories, I am focusing more on making sure I get the protein. Not perfect. I'll tell you how much I have bombed that for the most part and how I'm getting better at it. So that's what I'm doing. What I'm not doing that I would like to include eventually is drinking enough water, getting enough protein, working out regularly, cutting out sweets and alcohol, well, cutting back. Let's just be realistic. Cutting back on sweets and alcohol and cutting out the food that I'm sensitive to, which, you know, one day eventually I'll do a video on my health history because I think it could be very helpful to someone else who has been through the things that I've been through. I want to get as slim and trim as possible. Hopefully that doesn't trigger anyone. I have always been either heavier, thicker, more muscular, just all these things that I didn't like. But my version of slim and trim is not what you're thinking. I'm not talking Hollywood slim and trim, but you know, I have an idea in my head. I want to fit the clothes in my closet again. I want to buy new outfits and not be even more depressed after trying on clothes. I want to move freely. I'm already more nimble than I was a month ago. I want to feel comfortable in my clothes and my own skin. I already feel more comfortable in my clothes and in my own skin. I'm just so excited, and I'm not even halfway done. And I don't want to shy away from pictures, and I want to travel more comfortably. I took a trip in February to a place that was cold, and I was sweating the whole time. Sweating uncomfortable, legs swollen, back hurting, neck hurting. Yeah. So that has nothing to do with the scale. Like, we can talk numbers all day long, but there's these things that you don't realize when you go through your everyday life and you're used to being heavier, that it's just not good. Okay. So diets, fads, and programs that I've tried in the past in no particular order. I have to look at my notes for sure for this. Atkins, when I was in my late 20s, early 20s actually, and I was probably only 155 back then. Okay, yeah. South Beach diet, intermittent fasting, alternate day fasting, OMAD, low calorie, Weight Watchers, macros, and heavy lifting. Using bodybuilding.com. I did a whole program on bodybuilding.com back when it was free. Anyone remember Jamie Eason? Yeah, I did hers, had great results. But when all you want is cake, cookies, and candy and a bottle of wine, and you have to teach yourself how to sit down and just eat a meal, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, which I still have not successfully been able to create that habit. All these things didn't work for me. I'm not saying they don't have results. They do. If you stick with them, if you can get your brain to just shush, Okay. So anyways, macros and heavy lifting, medical weight loss program with phentermine, yeah. Low calorie pre-made meals, yes, I have tried all of these. Whole30, paleo, because I have Hashimoto's and have had eczema my whole life. No sugar, dairy, wheat, soy, or eggs, because I have eczema. Carnivore, Master Cleanse, 75 hard, intuitive eating. Everything in moderation, right? Blood type diet, fast metabolism diet. So clearly I like structure and an eating plan that fits in like a nice little neat box, but nothing has stuck. Nothing has been sustainable for longer than a couple weeks. I mean, I might have stuck with something for 2 or 3 months, but then I go back to sometimes not eating all day till like 2 or 3 or 4 p.m. And then I'm eating well into the night. And it's all the salty, sugary, calorie dense things because it's comforting. And my naturopath told me that I think it has something to do with like your nervous system or your stress level, and your body is just trying to calm itself, comfort itself, make it feel fun and good. I've always looked at food as fun, like a source of entertainment. I used to joke, I haven't been hungry in years, because I didn't let myself get hungry. I think I stole that from a comedian. Anyway, yeah, haven't been hungry in years. So this is how I arrived here. I had an epiphany last year that I need to overhaul myself inside and out, top to bottom. And I started hearing all this buzz about Ozempic and Hollywood. And I hate buzz. I hate being a follower. And a lot of times just because something is a buzz, I will intentionally not look it up because I'm like, I'm not a part of that. Well, yeah, anyways. That didn't age well. So a family member mentioned Mounjaro to me. They're like, oh, Mounjaro is so much better than Ozempic. And I'm thinking in my mind, these are diabetes drugs. Right now, the only medication I'm on is a thyroid medication. It's active T3 liothyronine for my Hashimoto's. And I've always felt, I had to take it, but I never felt like guilty or weird or bad about taking it because all it's doing is replacing a synthetic version of a hormone in my body. So I'm lacking T3, therefore I take T3. You see what I'm saying? Like I was never lacking in phentermine. A family member had said, Mounjaro works better. Just look into it. You might like it. You don't have to stay on it forever. And it got me thinking, actually, yeah. I looked it up and read that Mounjaro is mimicking something that already happens in the body. I was sold. I was like, I'm going to at least try this and see what happens. So side effects. Side effects do concern me. That's why when it comes to things that your body doesn't need, it's not a lack of, I get a little nervous. But it talked about gastrointestinal issues. That's fine. I had a family member say, okay, yeah, but what are the side effects of long-term being overweight or obese? And I think I still am in the obese category according to BMI. And perfect point. What are all the things that are associated with being overweight? Why would I be embarrassed to say that I'm on Mounjaro, on compounded Tirzepatide? It's taking me this long, a month, for me to be like, who cares? I'm putting this on YouTube. Because why be embarrassed when I am doing something to prevent issues later on down the line? So that's another video that I want to do, is like a compilation of comebacks for all of y'all who probably had people say something crazy to you that was not helpful, or it was very discouraging. We need to have a little comeback video. Anyway, so I wanted to reinvent myself, and I have always done it the hard way. You remember that long list of things that I've tried already? Life is hard enough. Why does losing weight, gaining weight is easy. So why can't losing weight be a little bit easier? My first memory of overeating as a child was between age 10 and 12. And I remember eating until my jeans hurt. Let's just say that. And we're talking, early 90s, before jeans stretched. So it hurt. And I remember thinking, like, what's wrong with me? Like, I seriously ate so much that I'm uncomfortable now. And that went from eating beyond comfort, eating to the point of discomfort, to, in my adult years, just eating very calorie, sugar dense foods as some sort of fun or comfort or whatnot, because stress management is also part of overhauling myself. Everything is all related. Once I decided to get on this, I immediately called the clinic where I bought it from, tried to get in as fast as I can, asked them how much it was going to be, and I moved some finances around, let's just say, to make it work, because it only made sense. And what the doctor even said, which was a really good point, you're going to be eating less. It's kind of like going to be a wash with your groceries. And when I think of all the sweets I used to buy, how I used to buy a couple bottles of wine a week, it's a wash. It stings. It's still a few $100s, but it is going to be worth it long term. And I'm totally convinced of that because of the results I've had. So I started May 13th. I was 204.6. Today, I'm 189. 189. Siri, how long? Hey Siri, how many days since May 13th?
It was 33 days ago.
33 days ago. 33 days ago, I was 204.6. So that was a Monday. I went and got the medicine at the clinic that day. I came home and told my husband how much it was going to be. It made me a little uncomfortable, but we made the decision that I'm just going to go ahead and do it. And this is going to be what I do. And we will make a way, because it's just worth it. It's so important. So 204.6 that day at home, and then also the same at the clinic when I weighed in, got the medicine, took my first shot that night. Today I'm 189.0. So what's 204.6 minus 189?
It's 15.6.
15.6 pounds in 33 days. Results not typical. All right, so like I said, I was going to get into the results not typical. Just yesterday, I saw 2 videos on my YouTube feed that said super responder. Well, one said super responders to GLP-1s, and I was like, what if I'm a super responder? I mean, that's great, but I'm averaging 3 to 4 pounds a week. And for context, I'm 5'5". A lot of people put their weight, starting weight, current weight, goal weight, how much they've lost. But we really, if you want to share that, I feel like we should be putting or saying how tall we are to give a little bit of context. So part of my background is I've always loved lifting weights. At one point I wanted to be a personal trainer. At one point I wanted to be a physique competitor. Okay, so the diet and fitness terminology is not new to me. And I've never achieved those goals, never even came close to it. I think the lowest I've been able to get in my adult life was 155. So this terminology is not new to me. Body fat composition. I knew BMI chart was a total joke years and years ago, because it just didn't make any sense. At no point was I ever within those guidelines on the BMI chart, because I'm 5'5", and I've never been probably below 150 or 160. And that is well over the line. So for the sake of simplicity, I started it and I'm so excited about it. I'm so happy with the results that I could not help myself but to start a YouTube channel. I mean, I've been wanting to start a YouTube channel for a long time, scared to put myself out there. I'm an introvert. I don't feel like being seen, but at the same time, I feel like I have a little something to offer. And what held me back in the past was overthinking what I had to offer. I wanted it to be of value. So now at 41 years old, I think I might have a little something to offer. On a mission to reinvent myself. It's very rare to be able to catch someone on their very first video, so here you are. My goal is to build a supportive community here for anything that you want to start doing more of, because that's something that you really like about yourself or something that you would like to change. And there's nothing wrong with change. And if you want a supportive community where you feel like you can change and you have the space to change without someone being a naysayer, then you found the right place.